morning and welcome back to Fate Farms. This morning we're going to do a little bit of a product review on that mini chainsaw Taranzi we talked about in previous videos. It's just going to be a quick introduction here. I'm going to open it up, show you a few features, and then we're going to get out on the property and I'm going to show you why I feel this chainsaw could possibly benefit us. So first, it comes with a hard case. All the instructions. Right here is all the warranty information and a little bit of a user manual. I already registered this one. It has a 1-year warranty. You scan it with a QR code. It's very user-friendly through the phone. Comes with some safety gloves. Helps out, to keep the dirt and the debris and stuff off your hands, and also a pair of safety glasses. So, people often wonder, should you wear sunglasses running a chainsaw? And I thought the same thing, but these are actual sunglasses with polarizing lenses, and these are just like a tinted lens, and it's very much clearer to see. I'm actually really surprised because this is the first time I've really dug into this thing. So as far as like right now, I feel completely comfortable out running this thing and getting full visibility. Now if you were like in a wooded area, maybe shaded, you might want to think about using a clear lensed safety glass just for full visibility. So we'll set the chainsaw over here. We'll move this stuff out of the way here. So it comes with 2 lithium-ion batteries. I did a charge test on them. I charged them both up, and it took about half hour, 45 minutes each. It's a slow charging system, which in my opinion is good. You don't want to do quick charge because they say that can damage the batteries. So I did also a retention test. After I charged them both, I let them sit for 4 or 5 days, and then I replugged them in, and they both retained their power. They lost very, very minimal. Maybe it took a minute for it to say it was completely charged again, which in my opinion, from sitting for 4 or 5 days, that's not too bad. So some of the other things it comes with is a little oiler to adjust the chain on the tensioner. I'm not going to get into doing a demonstration on how to maintenance this. I'll leave links in our description so you can watch videos on how to do that. I'm just showing you everything that comes in this box, and then also comes with an extra chain. And currently right now this chainsaw is on Amazon on sale for I believe $79.99. They asked me to do an honest product review. I'm not upselling this unit. It's something I've been thinking about getting here to help me out for small odds and ends things versus pulling out a big chainsaw, 20-inch, 25-inch bar chainsaw to go do a few things that possibly could be resolved with this. And I'm going to give you an example here shortly of how this is going to help me whenever I'm brush hogging the fields. This is a disadvantage of having cabbed equipment. I mean, obviously you stay comfortable in AC and you have a radio and stuff, but whenever you're cutting next to trees or tree lines, the branches obviously tend to grow into the field, or a windstorm might have a blowdown and you might have a branch in your way. So I'm going to give some demonstrations on how I'm going to use this little mini chainsaw on our property, and we'll do a quick review at the end and see what you guys think. This is my first example. I'm out here brush hogging a field, and this is a blowdown. We had some windstorms here a few weeks ago, and you could see I've cut across the top here and coming down with a brush hog, and now this is in my way here. So I'm going to use this 6-inch mini Taranzi chainsaw to see if I can't cut this stuff out of the way versus going back to the barn and getting a full-size chainsaw for something so small. So before I ran this chainsaw, I made sure I really oiled up the bar. It comes with an oiler, and I just use my bar chain oil that I have for my big saws. But so far I didn't think that that was too bad. I mean, this thing's pretty lightweight.
It's compact. I'm gonna cut this back a little bit farther. I wanted to cut it in a smaller piece so it was a little bit more manageable, and then we'll go back and see if we can't do a few other places where I'm running into some issues. Now that that's out of the way, I can continue brush hogging this field, and we're gonna go out back and I'm gonna do another demonstration of another place that I run into some issues that I could possibly use this device for. Last year, brush hogging this area back by the barn here, I almost ripped off one of my mirrors on my tractor. Coming by this vine here, it kind of like swung out, and you know, you never want to get off the tractor or ride back to the barn and get the proper equipment to minimize damage. So this is one of the reasons why I thought this Chiranzi chainsaw would come in handy, because it's small, compact in that little case, and it fits perfect in the cab of my tractor. I've purposely been avoiding this area with the weed whacker. Everybody knows these pesky weeds, they just destroy weed whacker string. So I thought that this would be a good test, something lightweight for this saw to see how it handles stuff like this. You can see it cuts through it like butter. So you can see that's about 1.25 inches in diameter. These are just weeds, but this is something that destroys weed whacker string. Every time I weed whack around the barn, by the time I get around 60 by 100, I end up reloading the head of the weed whacker trying to cut these bad boys. For those of you that follow the channel, you know we do a lot of firewood here. We tend to get a lot of the logs from our property, and then we bring them over in firewood pools. And then I normally was using marking paint. I would lay it out with a tape measure or a stick, and then I would mark every 16 inches. And I was cutting so much firewood, I was finding that I was going through a ton of paint. And if you go and see how much marking paint costs, it's about $8, $9 a can. So it's really starting to add up. So, you know, way before the Chiranzi chainsaw come about, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos where guys use these little mini chainsaws to actually mark their wood. I wouldn't recommend using a brand new chain to do this, because all you got to do is just nick it so you can see it with your big chainsaw whenever you're cutting. But I'll just give you a small example of what I'm talking about. Instead of using a product that you have to keep replacing, if you have an old chain on something that's been worn out, this comes with 2 chains, so once this one wears out, I'll start using it more. I'm just going to give a small example here. So I pull here and then come to 16, just a little nick, So anyone that has some carpenter experience, you can pull the 16 down through 32, it'll show you 48. Then all you gotta do is put a little nick in there so you can see where I have to cut to keep all my firewood symmetrical. Doesn't take much. Normally I just use a little spray of paint. Now I'm gonna start using this to minimize my operation costs. My final demonstration is gonna be with an ATV through the woods. If you have ATV, UTV, any type of utility quads or even walking trails, the trees tend to obviously grow down into the walking paths over time. So we travel this trail quite often with ATVs and UTVs checking the property. This is an adjoining trail from one property to another. So these are trees that have grown down that are starting to do damage to the roofs of the ATVs, and then I periodically bring a piece of equipment here to push these paths open and brush hog them. So we're going to trim this back here, and I'm going to show you how this Toranzi 6-inch chainsaw could be beneficial to someone that goes on UTV rides. Super lightweight, compact. You could see it's strapped to the front of my ATV currently right now, and it's just something that it's just like having another tool in a toolbox. But the fact that you don't have to carry a bulky chainsaw around for small, minimal stuff like this is why I'm choosing to use Toranzi chainsaws. I've done several different demonstrations through the property how this saw is going to benefit us, and I'm still currently on the same battery and the same chain. The only thing I would suggest is you could see there's a lot of oil residue. I'm super big on maintenance. If you understand what oil and grease does, it keeps things alive. So the more you can oil this chain, the longer it's going to keep this chain alive, keep the heat out of it, so it keeps the tensioning in the metal. That's the reasoning for the lube, to keep everything cool. So that's going to conclude all of our demonstrations today with this 6-inch Toranzi chainsaw. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And you know, me personally, for $79.99 or whatever it is on Amazon, I don't really feel that you can go wrong, especially with the warranty that they offer. I did not do any demonstrations of overworking this thing. That's not what it's designed for. You know, I've seen other videos where people cutting big logs and stuff like that. Do I think that it could do it? Yes. That's not what this video is about. It's about showing you what this can be used for on a day-to-day or a weekend-based person who's pruning some stuff around your house or in your garden, or down to someone like me who has property where they're pulling hay off it, put it inside of a tractor. It's compact, it's light. It seems really durable. The batteries last a long time. The case fits perfectly behind the seat of my tractor. You know, if you have a side-by-side, it would be great to keep that in there if you get into a position where you're on a path and you could be hundreds of miles away from your home base, and it could be something as simple as this saw could just cut your path open so you don't have to, one, turn around, or two, damage your equipment by trying to go over top of this tree or whatnot. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to leave a link below in the description on Amazon. Any purchases made through our link helps build our channel, and I'd like to ask for your guys' full opinion on the saw if you end up buying one. Let us know what you think, and like always, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.